Yo, it's Verteezy, and this is a No More Black Tears podcast.
Yo, what's good, people? Season C's in the building.
Yo, what's good? What's up? What's up?
So we sitting in the man cave right now, getting ready to watch the Super Bowl between the Chiefs and the 49ers. How everybody feeling?
Feeling good, man. 2024, bang, bang, not a game, man.
Oh yeah, everything's good. Everything's good with me. You know what I'm saying? How y'all?
Doing good, man. Got me a cup of Nyack, man. Got some lemonade, got some ginger ale in my cup. I'm ready for this game to get started, man. So let's go and hop into, the opening segment. So, they announced the Hall of Fame class for this year. Was there any names that just stood out to you, C's? People who didn't make it, people who did make it. Is there any thoughts on any of that?
Man, next year's class is gonna be crazy. But this year, man, who knew a special teams person would have made it, man? Hester, like they say he was supposed to make it last year, but he finally made it this year, so that's one that's definitely gonna stick out. And then was it Julius Peppers made it also?
Yeah, he did.
So I mean, those two names that really stuck out to me overall, man. And then, of course, you're gonna get on Antonio Gates. A lot of people feel like he was snubbed. He personally feels like he was snubbed. So hopefully he makes it next year or the following year. So
Yeah, man, I was excited that Julius Peppers made it because if I had to rank the players that basically was up for this class, he probably hands down was the best one that I saw in my own two eyes. Because they got this saying, and I know Skip Bayless like to use it. Man, bump all the numbers. When I watch you play, did you jump off the screen? And if I just had to tell you one player who always jumped on the screen, as someone who was a Falcons fan, Julius Peppers, man, he always jumped off my motherfucking screen. And the second player that basically jumped on my screen consistently was Dwight Freeman. So I was happy he made it too because those are two of the best pass rushers of the 2000s. And Dwight Freeman got a Super Bowl ring, and he was the leader. He was one of the leaders of that defense. Now I was shocked that Antonio Gates didn't make it because the way tight ends are being utilized, he changed that. Like he the one who, when you got in the red zone, the tight end became a threat. He did a whole bunch of just jump passes where basically we're gonna line you up to the outside, we're gonna throw a fade route, and you just gonna jump and get the ball. Even at the end of his career, when he no longer had that little go in his step, man, he was still getting touchdowns once it got to like the 3-5 yard line because he was just that athletic. Jared Allen surprised me too because I thought, no offense, with him being white, with him being a pass rusher, and him having over 100 sacks, I thought he was a shoo-in. But the last player that I'm very ecstatic to make it, and I know I'm gonna leave a player for Rose, Andre Johnson. It's hard for receivers to get in because as the game changes, those numbers just continue to get even more ridiculous. But if you watch the Texans when Andre Johnson was there, he was a top 5 receiver in the league. He was a game changer. He was doing it with quarterbacks that was not all pro and all elite. Like Andre Johnson, like he was that dude, bro. And in Houston, he was that man. Like it's a lot of receivers that we look at now and we asking, can it be number one? That was not a question with him. So I'm very happy he made it. He deserved it. So shout out to him. Rose.
Yeah, shout out to Johnson. He was one of those guys. I'm just gonna touch on Hester. I know I picked him to get in, and even though a lot of people say he probably wasn't gonna get in, but I feel like because he really did change the game, and then he also played like 3 positions or 4 positions. I guess punt returner, kick returner, wide receiver, scat back, DB, safety. He played all that. He ain't doing good in all of that, but he did play all of them.
He was everywhere on the field, man. He was one of the first people on Madden. When you play Madden, even though he was a DB, you could actually move him to play receiver for you, man. So, yeah, you're right. He was everywhere.
Yeah, but and Peppers, you know what I'm saying, and that was that man. I remember watching him play basketball at USC. I didn't even know he was a football player until he went to the Panthers. So I just remember him being a good basketball player at UNC. So and I was surprised that Antonio Gates didn't get in because he changed the game of tight end because they nowadays they want the rebound in tight end, and he started that. So I know Tony Gonzalez, he was a basketball player too, but Antonio Gates, he started that not even a pro bowl now or a pro football player, just a straight up basketball player coming into the league and putting up numbers.
Yeah, man. So moving on from the Hall of Fame class, a lot of those people in the Hall of Fame class received many awards in their career. We're gonna move on to the NFL honors, man. And the two awards that I want to talk on, and I'm gonna leave the rest for y'all. Defensive Player of the Year and the Myles Garrett. I felt like he deserved it. I saw there was a lot of controversy over it. A lot of people feel like T.J. Watt should have got it. There was people clamoring for Micah Parsons. I just want to say, man, Micah's a good defensive end, man. He's a good pass rusher. But there was too many times this season teams ran against him, and in the biggest games of the year, he just was not even there. Like he didn't do nothing. As far as TJ Watt, my only gripe with TJ Watt is it's a lot of great players on that defense. Like, yes, he's the best player on that defense, but they barely made the playoffs. And Myles Garrett was such a beast on that defense for the Browns and had so much impact on that defense. They have like 5 different starting quarterbacks this year. Joe Flacco came out of retirement. That defense was putting up like numbers we haven't seen in a long time. Like they was basically shutting offenses down, and he was the catalyst of that defense, man, with his ability to get to the quarterback. But, and this is the part Michael Parsons don't understand, with his ability to stop the run too. Like you don't see teams saying we're gonna run at Myles Garrett. Like he's long, he's athletic, he shares blocks. So shout out to him. And lastly, man, I'm just happy that Lamar got his second MVP, man. Like he's a Hall of Famer now. Like no matter what happens the rest of his career, like you got two MVPs. We don't see people who get 2 NFL MVPs not make the Hall of Fame. Like he's a Hall of Famer. Like he's amazing. Like he's everything that I'm proud of him because I saw videos of people posting it of his journey, and as somebody that watched him play at Louisville, and I saw how people said that he should go to running back or receiver, and he literally got picked at the last pick of the first round. And when you look back at that draft class, the only other good quarterback in that draft class was Josh Allen. He went in the teens. I forgot who went number 1 and number 2. I think that
Sam
was
Darnold.
Sam Darnold. Okay, that was the Sam Darnold. Was that the Sam Darnold Baker Mayfield draft?
Yeah.
Yeah. So both of them people, come on now.
No, so Baker went first, didn't he?
Yeah, Baker went first, and Sam Darnold went third to the Jets, I think.
Yeah.
So, like, come on, bro. Like, he really went after them 2 guys. Like, bro, it's a lot of teams that passed over him in the draft, and for him to have an MVP, it's a lot of teams that passed over him last year, including my Atlanta Falcons, when basically you had to give him just a first-round pick to get him. And what happened? Every team talking about, we good, we out. And look at you, Lamar. You won MVP, and now you got people like Art Blank saying, well, we was looking at this and we thought this, that people backtracking now because they know they sound stupid saying that, man. So shout out to those 2 people, man. C's, man, do you have any people you want to shout out?
Man, shout out to Hayward, man. I mean, just being a Steelers product, Cam Hayward, you actually getting a award for doing stuff outside the league, which is good to see. And it's part of that Steelers gang, so I gotta shout you out. Lamar, he's an evolution of Michael Vick. Like now, you don't have to be a runner, but they're gonna make you have to run the ball as a QB. So I mean that says a lot. And then Joe Flacco's still playing, man. What the hell? He did have a lot of tools on his team, but to be at that age and still doing things he's doing, man, I mean, it's good to see. And then McCaffrey, hey, win the game and prove him you deserve the award. That's all I gotta say, man.
Yeah, I ain't really got too much about the NFL honors awards. It's only one reward that really counts, and that's the MVP to me, and that's Lamar. So South Florida boy. You know what I'm saying? I love that video that the Ravens made for him. They had all the people speaking and coming up. They had a little boy playing him as a kid and all kind of stuff. That was pretty dope. I really liked that video I saw. I think that was on Instagram. That Vertizi shared with me. But yeah, man. But that's the only person I really got to say. I'm glad Damar Hamlin didn't get the comeback player of the year because he didn't do anything all year.
Yo, quick question, everybody, because that was on my timeline on social media all week. So you touched on it. I want to real quick, everyone. How do you feel about DeMar Hamlin not getting comeback player of the year, Rose?
Well, if he would have probably made that fake punt and won in the game, then he would probably would have had some more clout to say something about it. But he did not do anything. Just because you came back last year. You just didn't play, but you came back.
People was mad. They say he rose from the dead like Lazarus. So what you think, C's?
I think it was more of a sentimental thing for them to, have him in that discussion. He hasn't come back and shown like, oh, over a year ago, this man came back and he's put up amazing numbers. That's not the case. But I think it's more the sentiment. Like, the man was almost dead. So, I mean.
So they should have nominated him for Man of the Year instead of Comeback Player of the Year.
Right. Just like, if you just want to just make something. You do it all the time.
Yeah.
Make something up and just be like, hey, we're showing that we care as a league and as fans. Like, hey, man, we're shouting you out. You almost died. He did contribute to, their plays this year because they were decent. They were decent. I ain't gonna say they were great. They had their moments where they were good. But
man, I seen his highlight tape.
Man,
he had one play, and that's when he got stopped on 4th down.
People die every day, B.
Yeah, you know I was gonna go there too.
Like, come on, man. Like, hey, bro, you played like 3 games all season, the biggest player of the year. In the playoffs, you got stuffed.
Mm-hmm.
You didn't even get close. You got stuffed. Come on, man.
He's still allowed to play another game, though. So, I mean, shout out to
I got one thing to say. I just got one thing to say. I'm still alive. I'm still alive.
Hey, man, talking about people still doing it, though, man. So, Usher's going to perform at the Super Bowl halftime, man. So, C's, man, what does this mean to you? And is there a particular Usher song or maybe guest that you would like to see come out during the halftime with him?
So, we talking about church? It's a Sunday? Usher? Who's Usher? Mm-hmm. Nah, on a real note, though, it's like, man, this is somebody, if you was a 90s baby, you might, maybe 80s babies too, but 90s babies, even these 2000s babies, a man who's been doing this thing for over 30-something years, man. We know who controls the performances now. It's Roc Nation. They gonna do their thing continuously. It's like a 10-year deal. So Usher's a great performer. He's in his hometown now. His other hometown, we know he's really from.
He's from Dallas.
From Dallas, but made himself in Atlanta. So it's like, it's an extension. You out in Vegas now. Go see the shows. He gonna kill it tonight, man.
Yeah, I thought it was dope, man, because he had that residency at Vegas that just wrapped up, and people was clamoring about how his show was amazing, and now the Super Bowl's in Vegas. This kind of goes to people when they say the Illuminati's real, bro. Hey, man, like the fact that he was this big in Vegas all year, and guess what? He get to end it in Vegas at the Super Bowl. But like you said, Roc Nation has been doing a good job. These halftime performances the last couple Super Bowls have been better than back in the day. Usher's a great performer. He was one of my favorite people to listen to growing up. Hey, I hope he brings out, Ludacris and Lil Jon, and I hope he plays the hits, man. Just play the hits, man. Play Confessions, play Yeah, play Burn, man. What you and me talked about, I think it'd be cool if Alicia Keys came out too, and you play My Boo, because Alicia Keys, we don't talk about her enough. She's one of the most talented people. She can play the piano. It would be dope to see her play the piano like Dr. Dre did a couple of Super Bowl halftime performances ago, man. And, he just single whatever, man. So, hey, this is going to be a halftime show I think you ain't going to want to miss.
Yeah, I want to see him play his new single with 21 and SZA. I like that song, but other than that, man, I just all I want to know is like since he's really famous, is he getting the Magic Johnson treatment? Did they cure herpes for him? That's what I want to know. Usher, do you still have herpes? Because it was a fact that you had it. So do you still have it? You know what I'm saying?
Man, that man ain't got herpes no more, man. But hey, we here for the Super Bowl, man. All the other stuff aside, we got the Chiefs versus the 49ers. We gave you our picks Friday night. Rose and me, we both had the Chiefs. I had the Chiefs in a convincing fashion, and C's had the 49ers. So I'm going to start with you, C's, because you basically in the minority. What do the 49ers have to do to win this game?
They got to not turn the ball over, man. We seen what happened in the Detroit game. They held on. They came back. This is not the type of team you want to make a comeback against. You want to control, at least be in contention. If it's even, you can win the game. You cannot let yourself get behind. If Mahomes chops up your defensive line, we've seen him. He can literally chop the line. He's chopped defenses up. He will run the ball when he needs to run the ball. He's not a Lamar Jackson where he's just going to actually full scale run the ball. But you let him get out that pocket. Let him get comfortable where he can run the ball, get it down the field. Oh, I just need to pick up 7 yards just to get the first down. Then the next thing you know, oh, now I can throw the ball. The receivers. It's been a couple of games where it hasn't been Mahomes messing up. It's literally been the receivers dropping the ball or missing catches. These receivers actually got to catch the ball. Mahomes is going to do what he needs to do. Can these receivers actually catch the ball when it matters? Make the catch. 49ers, we've seen your defense. They need to do what they've been doing consistently for years, for seasons. They need to actually play the ball. And then Purdy, hey, y'all need to protect that boy. Because, I mean, if they hurt him, man, hey, it's on y'all, man.
Yeah, man. Man, hey, Chiefs, block that front seven. Block that front seven, man. You do that, you're gonna win this game easily. If you can block the MAGA, the Mr. MAGA Trump supporter, and you can block Chase Young, and you can block Armstead, and if you can block Bowman, and Fred Greenlaw, if you can block them boys and keep Mahomes clean, y'all gonna win easily. Chiefs defensively, y'all gotta take away the run. Specifically, y'all gotta take away Christian McCaffrey. He cannot be a factor in this game. He can't have over 100 yards total because unlike with other running backs, he can have 20 yards rushing all game and then get up 80 yards receiving. You have to take him away. You can let Debo do what he do. You can let IE do what he do. You can let Kittle do what he do. You gotta take McCaffrey away because that's gonna be Brock Purdy's blanket, man.
Yeah, I think the key to the game is going to be the 2 7th-round draft picks, um, Isaiah Pacheco and Brock Purdy. I think whoever has the better game is going to win the game. If Purdy doesn't have a good game, I don't see them winning. And if Isaiah Pacheco has a good game, like he's been solid all year, the last 2 years, if he's keep doing what he's doing, running the ball as hard as he does it, hey, I could see Kansas City on top. You know what I'm saying? Because that's go take offense. I mean, San Francisco offense off the field because they run the clock. And then when you run the ball, then you got to bring people up. That's going to open Travis Kelce up. That's going to open up Rice up. Shout out to Jerry Rice. You know what I'm saying? And that's what I got, man. That's my take on it, man.
So before we turn it over, man, I'm gonna ask one question, C's, because you avoided the question Friday night. Do you have an MVP since you got the 49ers winning? Who's your Super Bowl MVP if they win?
Caffrey, man. He's gonna do his thing. Caffrey's gonna do his thing.
And that's all that we have, man. We'll see y'all at halftime. Yo, it's Verteezy, and we are back from the first half of the Super Bowl.
And it's the season C's. We are back. I told y'all, man. I told y'all. Y'all gotta catch the ball. Pat Mahomes made the throw. Y'all gotta catch the ball.
Hey, man. So, what are y'all thoughts on the first half, C's?
Like I said, man, you gotta catch the ball, man. We saying it's, hey, what do we say? Defense wins championships. It's proven. They gotta find a way to actually. Both teams, they need to capitalize. There's been too many plays where it's like, if you would have just threw the ball or made the smarter play, you would have scored by now. But it's setting up to where it's going to be a second quarter. It's going to start actually scoring. We're going to see 20s and 30 points up on the board. So.
Yeah, man, it's been a defensive first half, man. As always, man, mistakes, man. We saw a fumble by the 49ers on their first drive, and a drive they was moving the ball effortlessly, where they would at least got 3 points out of. Then when the Chiefs finally had a big play to McCole Hardman, that boy from UGA, the very next play we get a fumble by Pacheco, and that would have at least been 3 points. So we'll see if that makes the difference in the game. But me and Rose was talking in the first half, and we can tell that both offenses are just a play or two away from exploding. So in this second half, I expect to see some points on the board. But for the Chiefs, they defensive line got to get after it more. They've been getting moved around by the 49ers. And they offensive line got to protect Mahomes more because he's doing too much running around, as well as, man, throw the ball more, man. Throw the ball more, man. Get that man Mahomes the ball more and just cut him loose. Any thoughts on the first half, Rose?
Yeah, Taylor Swift only had one catch, and he pushed Andy Reid down. That was kind of surprising. And Brock Purdy is playing pretty good, but Christian McCaffrey, he's doing his thing. That's nothing new. He's going to put up numbers. That's what he's a number machine. But Kansas City, they needed 3 points. They got their 3. They get the ball after halftime. It is what it is.
Hey, man, I think we all are in agreement that Christian McCaffrey is the leading candidate for MVP from what we saw in the first half. Does anybody disagree with that sentiment?
Yes.
Who you got then, Juice Man?
Oh, we're talking about for the game.
Yeah, for the game. For what you saw in the first half.
Not
So far.
It'll be Purdy over McCaffrey all day.
Okay, then. See,
I disagree with that, man.
and me and Rose already said right now, if we're going by the first half, McCaffrey. So, moving on, man. Hey, we just saw Usher in the halftime show. Real quick, man. Juice Man, you said he looked like a gay Superman at the end. What was your thoughts on the halftime performance?
Sir, why are you going to put me on the spot like that? Yes, he looked like a black Superman. Say less.
Sees?
Hey, man, we always see these damn performances and concerts, man. In 2022 to 2024, we always looking at these rappers and singers. What the hell you got on?
The whole crew, though. It was everybody. Everybody was wearing something, as they say, was it sassy?
That's sassy.
Just everything, even
Ludacris. No, it was zesty.
Everybody had on something like
just
but,
because.
But he said it though. He turned the world into the A. No, he brought.
He did say that. He said he brought the world to the A.
But just because it's designer don't mean you gotta wear it. But I mean, overall, pretty good performances.
Oh yeah, performances off the chain.
I thought he would have did, the song with Diplo, Climax. I thought he would have did that. But I mean, all the other songs.
We caught it kind of late, so he may have. We don't know.
Yeah, we definitely have to catch it on YouTube, man. I thought it was a great performance. Juice Man asked me where I ranked this. Easily top 5 because we've had some trash performances, but this was easily top 5. Usher is that dude, and it was great to see all the guest people he brought on, man. So before we go back to the game, because the game's going to start in a few minutes, what was a commercial or a movie trailer that y'all saw that caught your eye? Sees?
Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes, man. I got to see that one.
I'm down with the Shogun. I like the Shogun. Shogun.
Oh, none of them really caught my eye. Well, one commercial did catch my eye when I had all the white actors and Tom Brady.
Oh, the Dunkin' commercial.
I'm like, y'all got all these other people. Like that commercial was so white. The 49ers have to win the game.
No black. Man, they had the
Boston,
Latinos in it.
Boston, Dunkin' Donuts, man.
They had Jennifer Lopez in it, and they had
Matt Damon,
Ben Joe,
Affleck,
and that's
Jack Harlow.
That's Dunkin' Donuts, man.
Tom Brady.
That's Boston.
They don't black.
They pulled out the stops for that one. For me, it was the Christopher Walken one, man. He got great movies, and for those who watch movies and know him, he got a very distinct way he talked.
Yeah,
and it was funny to watch everybody imitate how he talked.
Right.
And then it was even funny to see Usher, who's in the halftime of the Super Bowl.
Yeah, it was like, hey, you got some of these?
And then Usher said, yep, and he just danced up, not run up, he danced up the stairs.
He said,
yeah. I know BMW dropped a bag on that commercial, man.
Yeah.
So, last thing, do y'all think the Chiefs can come back? They down 10-3. I'm going to start with Rose. You think the Chiefs can come back in the second half?
I'm going for the Chiefs. So they're down. They only needed 3. And they get the ball right now, opening up. You know what I'm saying? They ain't scored in 4 quarters. They scored 3 points in 4 quarters. They got to do something. We're from Boston for 3 quarters. 3 quarters.
What about you, Juice? When you think the Chiefs can come back?
Chiefs gonna win it because San Francisco was leading at halftime. That's the way it goes. It is what it is.
Seeds.
Man, well, y'all wrong, but it's still anybody's game. But 49ers gonna come back, win this thing, take it over. It's time to get it in high gear. Do the thing. McCaffrey, Purdy, underdog, win this game.
49ers fucked up, man. They kept it a one possession game. As long as it stays one possession, the Chiefs got a chance because they got Superman winning number 1-5. Hey, we'll see y'all after the rest of the game.
We back. Super Bowl is over. Kansas City, back to back, first time in 20 years. Bertizzi, what we doing?
Yeah, man, it was a great second half. Y'all heard us say that we thought there was gonna be more points scored in the second half, and to be honest, it was much of the same in the first half. It was a defensive game. So, C's, man, what was your analysis from the second half of the game? What could the 49ers have done to maybe change the outcome, and what did the Chiefs do to secure their back-to-back Super Bowl victory?
Man, they kept it tight with the defense, man. Those earlier mistakes definitely came back to bite them in the butt, man. That's just the truth. You kind of got to go for the touchdowns, man, sometimes. And then it's like the field goals. Honestly, this game was made off of field goals, really.
Yeah, man, this was one of those games where it was a defensive game, but it was an exciting defensive game.
No, it wasn't.
Because both
Don't lie.
Nah, because both offenses made plays. Like Brock Purdy made some.
Rose, was you not falling asleep like I was?
Yeah, and from the overtime,
Yeah,
I was ready for the game to be over, but it was the game that the 4 quarters were exciting.
Yeah, I was entertained, man. Pat made those he had to make, and Brock Purdy made those, and McCaffrey was special. Like Rose said, McCaffrey did what he was supposed to do in the second half. For me, it came down to a couple things. The first thing, that missed extra point by the 49ers. The game went to overtime. So that already tells you, you make that extra point, you probably win this game. It's the small little things. The second thing.
But they didn't miss it.
It got blocked.
It got
blocked.
That definitely, and you can tell that was a gut punch because it's like they weren't, even the defense was not playing like, come on, stop them. It just felt like it was a gut punch to them. It's like you're not going as hard as you were.
It's hard, but it's hard. Like it's hard to stop it. I don't know what it is, but it's hard to stop a team in that 2-minute warning. When they're in 2-minute offense, it seems like it's the offenses have everything going for them. And when you get Pat Mahomes in a 2-minute or 3-minute offense, he's gonna do what he do. He's the best in the game. But I think the defense played good though.
I mean, they let him hit that slip and slide, man. Those pockets is a couple plays where he was able to do the classic Mahomes thing and just slide.
Yeah,
he literally was running like they let him out the pocket. He's running. He kept up the momentum, and look what happened. They didn't necessarily. Well, in overtime, they finally scored, the touchdown. But it's like you kept giving him chances to get in his groove, and it just goes to show you, it's like, man, Patrick Mahomes, you got to stop him.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Nah, I mean, the defense did play good for both teams, but the 49ers, you got to make a play, man. Like when you get to position and you up 3 points and you got to get a stop, you got to make a play, man. You got to get to the quarterback, sack him. Like if you ask me who's the best defensive player in this entire game, it was Chris Jones. Because throughout the game, if you paid attention, whenever it was 3rd down, 4th down, and the Chiefs needed a stop, that's who made it. Like on that play in overtime, when it was 3rd down, they had someone wide open, Jennings for a touchdown. But who was in the backfield as soon as the ball got hit? Chris Jones. Nick Bosa, where was you at, man? Like you was getting close to Patrick, but you got to actually get to him and affect him. And as far as the secondary goes, you can't let Kelsey make the biggest plays of the game. So, with all that being said, we pretty much all know Patrick Mahomes is going to be the MVP, right? Does anybody think differently?
Nah, he's MVP.
Yeah.
Hands down.
So I'm gonna ask a different question then. Outside of Patrick Mahomes, who's the 3 best players in the entire game in your opinion? Sees.
Caffrey did his thing. Caffrey. So hear me out. Surprisingly, Pachenko made up for his mistakes. So he was a major factor in this game. And you said three besides other last person, man. Purdy, man. He did what he was supposed to do, man. That's all we could ask. That's it.
Man, for me, McCaffrey, he was clearly the best player in the game outside of Pat. Two, Chris Jones, because he was the one player on the Chiefs defense I consistently saw making plays, getting to the quarterback, stopping the run. And three, I would go with the receiver that threw a pass and caught a touchdown, but I'm actually gonna go defense and I'm gonna go with McDuffie because he made a difference in that secondary. Like you could tell Brock Purdy was not comfortable throwing the ball at times. So to me, those are the three best players in the game besides Pat.
You did see a lot of
Yeah,
McDuffie. He was
I'm
on
gonna go Taylor Swift. I mean Travis Kelsey. He might have had 100 yards. I don't know, but he made plays when he was supposed to make plays that kept him in the game. McCaffrey and and then I'm gonna go at that shoot. Hartman. He didn't do much,
But
but
he did what he had to do.
he scored the winning touchdown. He had a big play in the first half that would have broke the game open if Pacheco didn't fumble. Uh, and the game wouldn't have been as close as it probably would have been if Pacheco didn't fumble because he had two of the most big plays that made us say, "Oh!" Other than Pat Mahomes doing this thing and Travis Kelsey was doing this thing too, but you can't go wrong with Chris Jones either. He didn't have a sack, but he was definitely interrupting everything.
Yeah, man. So you said at the beginning, man. Chiefs won. They went back to back. We ain't seen that in 20 years. You can officially say in NFL terms they're a dynasty. But whenever you have a dynasty, you got to have rulers. So with that being said, it's three Super Bowls now. What does this Super Bowl win mean for Andy Reid, the coach, and mean for Pat Mahomes?
Andy Reid is definitely one of the best coaches in the last 30 years, if not all time. He's been with several different teams, so it's like he's up there. And then Patrick Mahomes, man, I thought it was just two, but apparently it's three now. So he's in contention. Definitely a Hall of Famer. Might be on his way to being one of the best QBs of all time.
Yeah, I'm gonna keep it real, man. Like I'm not gonna disrespect Bill Belichick and call Andy Reid the GOAT. But what I will say, I didn't need this game for me to know that he's the best offensive mind I've ever seen. But it is official to me. I don't want to argue no more. Andy Reid's the second greatest coach to ever coach this game. He got three Super Bowl championships with the Chiefs. He started coaching the Chiefs, 2014, 2015. So in a 10-year span, he got three titles. And pretty much in a 6-year span since he got Pat, he been winning championships. He been to the Super Bowl when he was with the Eagles, multiple NFC championships. So he's shown me he's the second greatest coach ever. And I had this conversation with D. Will earlier in the week, and he called me crazy. And I said, "Bro, let me tell you, man, I don't need to see shit. I don't need to see 10 more years. I'm using my eyes, and hey, to me, Pat Mahomes is the GOAT, man. I'm sorry for those who love Tom Brady, but when I watch Pat Mahomes, his first three Super Bowls, three Super Bowl MVPs, two league MVPs. When Tom Brady was winning his championships, he was not the engine of those teams. Like those teams was led by their defense, and he made key throws here and there. Pat Mahomes has been the engine of this team since he got there. So to me, man, hey, I'm comfortable saying he's the greatest quarterback I've ever seen in my life. Rose.
Yeah, Pat Mahomes, he's the man. Like you said, Tom Brady got to his first Super Bowl by the refs cheating for them because of the Taliban ran into the Twin Towers. They wanted the flag to win the NFL, and then they end up he ended up being good, but they shouldn't have won that first Super Bowl against the Rams. They shouldn't have been there. It should have been the Raiders and the Rams, and then who knows what happened. But he shouldn't have been there, so that shouldn't have happened. And then they beat Pat Mahomes with Tampa Bay, but that team was stacked. You know what I'm saying? But They did it. You know what I'm saying? But they had a stat team, but they shouldn't have beat the Falcons. So
They damn sure shouldn't beat the Seattle.
and they shouldn't have beat Seattle. So that's 3. No, that's 4. So you take those 4 away, he only got 3. And the first one, yeah, he got 3. The math ain't mathing, but it's mathing.
You right about that.
But yeah, man, he's the greatest.
So, man, I got one last question before we go. We done seen a lot of Super Bowls, man. Where does the Super Bowl rank for you, C's, out of all the Super Bowls you've seen?
It's probably like 7, 8 because I've seen a lot more entertaining. As far as like actual plays on both sides of the field, more entertaining. This one though it shows you defense really proves championship. So defense will win a game for you. But yeah, I mean it was better than last couple ones over the years. I mean, let's just be honest, it was pretty good.
I'll put this top 3, top 5 because I like defense. I'm one of those people that I don't always want to see 35, 38. I like to see, the defense play, but I want to see the offense mixed in there. But the real reason why I probably would put it like in that 3 to 5, I don't feel like the 49ers lost it really. Like Brock Purdy didn't really throw no picks. McCaffrey had that one fumble early in the game. Yeah, they had that fumble on the punt side, but then the Chiefs made just as many mistakes. Like I feel like this was the game the Chiefs won. So that's number one. I don't like games where I feel like after I watch the game, man, it just feel like the other team lost it. 2, you always want the quarterback, especially whoever you think the better quarterback is, to go down the field and drive. Well, we saw that. We saw Brock Purdy with 5 minutes to go drive his team down the field, kick a field goal. Then we saw Pat Mahomes with less time do what? Drive down the field and kick a field goal. Then in overtime, we saw Brock Purdy lead his team in a do-or-die situation because it's overtime for a field goal. And then we saw Pat Mahomes in a really do-or-die situation lead his team down the field for a touchdown. Like if you was a fan of either team, there's no way your heart was not completely thumping. And to me, that's what makes a great game. So, before we close it out, Rose, where it ranks for you?
This is in the top 10. I'm not gonna. I'm not gonna live in the moment and put it in my top 5, but I'm gonna say it's in the top 10. And one guy that we left out that deserves a whole lot of credit is Steve Spagnuolo, the defensive coordinator for the Chiefs. I got to give him his props because he showed up 2 weeks ago against Lamar Jackson, the MVP. He showed up against Tyreek Hill, who has been one of the best receivers in the league all year. He showed up against the Great White Hope,
Josh Allen.
You know what I'm saying? And then he showed up against they had the 4 hardest teams, and they all had good offenses, and they all had good defense too. But he shut all 4 of them down. I don't think none of them scored more than 30 points or whatnot. Or I can't say I can't remember the scores, but they all would. He shut them boys down. So they was all close games. So man, that's I can't put it in my top 5, but I'm putting it in the top 10.
Closing remarks, C's.
Niners let me down, man. But hey, Chiefs, man. Patrick Mahomes. I mean, what can I say, man?
Yeah, man. It was great to watch the Super Bowl, man. I'm sad that the NFL season has come to an end. But we got a month full of Black history. I'm happy Pat Mahomes won because that's a Black quarterback, 3-time Super Bowl MVP. Go. In the words of Ed Ben Rakim, peace.
And I'm back quiet.